All right. So now we're doing FreeCodeCamp Legacy Python for everybody. Dictionaries, common applications. All right. So let's make sure. Oh, it's real low. All right. Let's go.
So now we're going to talk to you about one of the common applications of dictionaries, and that is making histograms. It's counting the frequency of things. And so if you think of a histogram as, it's a little graph, and there is, how many A's, how many B's, and how many C's, and there's a histogram that says, oh, there's this many of that and this many of that. And these are like buckets. These are frequencies.
Histogram.
And this is how many times it happens. So,
hold on. What is a histogram? What is a histogram? Boom. Huh? Histogram is the most commonly used graph to show frequency distributions. It looks very much like a bar chart, but there are important differences. Okay. What are the differences? Oh my god. You can't just tell me in the next sentence? God, I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Like, these people just make your that's not how we get paid. Just give me stop making me hunt for it, you degenerates. Anyway, it's such garbage. It's such garbage, right? Like, how many opening paragraphs do I need to read in my life? How many? And then they're like, here's a teaser so you can read more of this article written by some freaking person. Who cares? But whatever. Let's what is it? Let's type most common name in our notes first. These people, look, it's everywhere. It's not just FreeCodeCamp, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It is everywhere. Foolishness. All right, so here we are. I guess I didn't close it yesterday. Oh, whatever. I saved it. Let me see. There's no whatever. Anyway, so let's come down here. Most common name. We're not going to be able to draw this, but whatever. All right, let's see what he says. So yeah, histogram is a bar chart. but there's a difference, but we don't know what it is because
a histogram. But we're going to do this thing where we're going to count people's names, and we're going to kind of count how many that we see. But the interesting thing that we're going to solve, just like many of the things in the computer, is we can't just sort of look at the data. We got to look at the data iteratively.
But it's like, in my opinion, it's like, did he not think, like, because I'm pretty like you can see. Hold on.
Names, and we're going to kind of count how many that we see. But the interest,
you can see there's no malice in his eyes towards us. Like, he really thinks that people know what a histogram is. Like, I literally never heard the word histogram until I watched this video, or any video that he said histogram. I didn't know what he was talking about. I think this guy really thinks that people know what histograms are. That's why he's not telling us. Anyway, let's keep going.
Interesting thing that we're going to solve, just like many of the things in the computer, is we can't just sort of look at the data. We got to look at the data iteratively, one piece of data at a time. So I'm going to give you a little problem. Okay, I'm going to show you a series of names, one at a time, and I want you to count for each name, make a little bucket, and then keep counting how many things for each of the different names. Okay, you'll notice that you have to start with one and then you move across. So just watch this and tell me how many, what's the most common name of the set of names I'm about to show you, and how many do we see?
Marquard. That's not how anything's done. It would be on a fat piece of paper, okay, and you would be able to see all of them at the same time, just like the computer. So don't play games with us. Why not just say what's the most common freaking letter in this thing right here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's M. Why did we have to go through that? You know what? Whatever. I'm starting to realize that. Chuck, look, you can't. You don't. There's no malice here. There's something. There's something here. I don't know what it is though, because I'm not that old, and this is a old. This is you'd have to be like 20 years older than him to know what this look is on the fly. You know, it's not an easy task to read the faces of old people. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy, he's acting cool. Well, he's acting nerdy, but he's done some stuff. He's been places, and he's seen things, and he's been disappointed many times. That's all I wanted to say. Let's go.
Now, here comes the reveal.
Also, anybody, why wasn't there that in the first place? All right, so let's really see this. So I can see Quinn twice. Now, Sev is 3 times. Jin is 5 times, and my card is 3 times. So it's definitely going to be Jin. I got another opinion, but I don't want to say it. It's just whatever. It's America, isn't it? Let's go.
So for humans, it's so much easier for you to just look at this and you think, how did my brain look at that? And you're like, okay, what?
Well, you can see the patterns. These 2 are next to each other. These 3 are in a row. We all play tic-tac-toe. These 5 are doing an X. And then there's that right there, a little check mark. You know, that's how we did it. Let's hear how he thinks we did it.
What is pretty common? Oh, maybe Chen is common. Oh, Chen.
Not even, no. Man.
Maybe Zhen is common.
He's so full of crap. That's not what we're doing at all. We are literally looking at the patterns of the images. Look, there's an X. There's a slash. There's a hyphen. Here's a check mark. That's literally what we're doing. We're not doing any, okay, mark hard, no, yes, no. We're not, nobody's doing that. Nobody with eyes that's a human and is above like a certain, age, probably like 2, is doing what he's saying we're doing. Nobody's doing that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nobody's doing that.
Anybody else have? Marquard's got 3, C7. And so you'll notice how our minds, without computers, we just sort of like bounce, branch and bound. We have hypotheses, and then we decide, it's Zhen. That's it, and there's 4 of them.
You can clearly see it's him.
How did your brain think about this as we were going through them one at a time?
We weren't.
Well, my guess is if you really had to do this
No, we weren't.
a lot,
Nobody was doing
a little
that.
picture like this. And then what you would do is if you saw a new name, XYZ, you'd add it to the list and give it a tick mark of 1. And then if you saw like C7 again, you'd give that a tick mark. And if you saw XYZ again, you'd make a tick mark. And then you'd keep adding to these tick marks, right? And that's how you would do it.
No.
And you wouldn't, like many of the things we
Nobody's
do in a
doing it
loop,
like that.
you wouldn't really know what the most common was until the end. And then you'd sort of take a look at these numbers and you say, okay, that's the most common number, and then you'd be done. But you have to watch
Anyway,
it.
I get what he's saying now, because I guess I'm just, it's good to be kind of like energetic on a video, right? I get what he's saying. Like, let's say this was just in a straight line, right? Yeah, of course you'd have to do that. And there were like 10,000 of them, and you didn't have a computer, and you still had to count them regardless. Yeah, this is the method, definitely, if it's like that. But like this right here, come on now, man. Can you chill out? Let's go.
One at a time. You can't just bounce around. And so that's how we're going to use dictionaries.
Let's finally write something down. All right, let's do this. Most common name. Many counters with a dictionary. Okay. We're just gonna skip this most common name thing because I feel like it was pretty useless. Many counters with a dictionary. Many counters with a dictionary. There we go. So one common use of dictionaries is counting how often we see something. Of course, absolutely. So we would do something like this. We'd have, what is this count? What is this? Hold on. I gotta look at this to interpret this so we can put it in real words. Okay, what is this CCC? Is this names? Name list? Name dictionary? Names? Let's call this names. Names equals new dictionary. Like thus. And so let's take this part right here, names, and the line above it. Let's drop this right here twice. We'll say names at let's put a real name in there. Let's names at, let's put something even less having to deal with BS. Let's say animals. Okay. And let's take this. All right. And let's do this. All right. And we'll do this too. Why not? All right. So animals, and let's say dog. And let's say cat. All right. Equals 1. Cat equals 1. Let's say cats and dogs. All right. So let's do that. And then let's come down here and say print CCC. No, print animals. Also, you know what? A big part of why I talk a lot of smack about these guys, and that was brought to my attention recently, is I'm probably very jealous. And I probably am very jealous because I'm very poor, okay? And maybe I should, look, I'll save that. I'll save that conversation for the live when we're not recording. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go. So now we're going to have this, and we're going to have this. All right. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll grab this, drop this here. We don't need that. And we'll say dogs 1, cats 1. Dogs 1, cats 1. Actually, let's put cats in the front, because that's going to remind us that dictionaries do whatever they feel like. Cats, and we'll say dogs here. All right, so dogs here. Boom. All right, so we've got that line. Now let's do the next one. What are we doing? Let's get... What is this? Which one's Seawind? I hate this. I really hate this. All right, so let's get this one here. All right, and drop it here. And let's say cats equals... Oh, yeah. Animals, cats. And then let's say +1. All right, and now when we print animals again, we're going to get, let's get this again. We're going to get that, but we're going to have cats be 2. Because we added one to it. All right. I guess that's... It is what it is. Let's listen to him talk about it.
To achieve that. Again, instinctively as humans, we just look at the stuff. But if you had a million things, you probably want to write a Python program and use dictionaries. And so this is the idea. And there's two basic things that happen. One is the first time you see a name, you got to say, is this name there already? If it's there already, you really just want to add one to it, right? That's the adding of a tick. And or you want to see for the first time, you know, blah, 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 and give it a 1. And so you can use the name as the key. And then 1 is the value. And then first time you see Chen, you stick 1 in there. And so at this point, inside the dictionary, sort of dynamically adding, as soon as it sees a new name, it adds another slot in here. But then if you see the same name again, like Chen again, then you end up with a 1, add 1 to it, and so it's 2. And so at that point, Chen is 2. And so you can see how you can both extend the dictionary by encountering a new name, or adding when you see a name that you've already seen before. The problem with dictionaries is...
Okay. We'll get to what the problem is in just a second after we write this stuff down. So, let's see. Dictionary tracebacks. Let's do that. Dictionary tracebacks. It is an error to reference a key which is not in the dictionary. True. It's got to be in there to reference it. Of course. We can use the in operator to see if a key is in the dictionary. Okay. So it would look something like this. We'd say animals equals dictionary. So animals equals new dictionary. Then we'll let's take this. We'll take this and we will say print animals at let's say cat. I don't remember which one that was supposed to be, but it doesn't matter. We changed it. And so since we didn't put anything in there as cat yet, it's going to give us a trace back. And then it'll say file line 1. All right. And then key error. All right. So then we've got, so then after that, we're going to have, we could say something like this, cat in animals, and that will bring out, that'll say false. All right. With a capital F, because this is Python. So yeah, that's what would happen in that instance. All right, let's hear him talk about it.
Is like everything in Python, there are rules about what you can and can't do. And one of the, I think, kind of frustrating things about dictionaries is that you can't just look for a key that doesn't exist. So this is a fresh, brand new dictionary. We do a constructor there, and we print out sub C7, and boom, it blows up, and that's bad. But we can solve this by the in operator. The in operator we've used in the for loops, we've used it in lists, we've used it in strings. So that is a question. It's saying, is C7 in CCC? Well, this is this empty one, and so it is, no, it is not. C7 is not in CCC. And so using this in operator, we can avoid the traceback. We can say, if it's not there, put it in. If it is there, add 1 to it. And that leads us to this bit of code. Okay, and that is...
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really even paying attention right now. I'm thinking about myself. That's one thing. Remember in class, that's what I would do sometimes. Maybe you did it too. Just sit there and let's stop recording. We'll do this crap later. No. 5:02. That's where we are. We'll just come to 5:02 later. I'm going to take a break. 5:02. Let's put that. I'm going to put that in the notes, actually. I'm going to take a break and come back to recording this. I'm still live, but I'm just not feeling it right now. I'll do this again some more in a little bit. And it's only 5 minutes. Oh, but it's a lot of typing. Yeah, this video's already 20 minutes. All right. So there we go. We'll be right back. All right. We're back. And I say we because I'm recording this live. And so we as in me and whoever's watching this live, who is nobody. Let's go. Or if it's you who subscribed, who became a member, you're watching it. Because that's the only person that would. Let's do it.
Do it. And that leads us to this bit of code. Okay, and that is the kind of code that we're going to build a histogram. This is going to histogram code, okay? And so this is going to have name as our iterator, names. Sorry, I made them singular and plural. That's nice, but so name is going to be csev chen, csev gen. Now normally we'll be reading this from a file, but for now we'll keep it easy.
Hey, what's up, physics?
Easy. We're going to go through this. And we're going to have counts as our...
All right, let's type this down. I don't know why I'm not paying attention. Actually, I know exactly why I'm not paying attention, but we're going to go through this anyway. So let's type this down when we see a new name, right? So when we see a new name, okay? When we encounter a new name, okay, we need to add a new entry in the dictionary. All right. And if this, the second, what? Oh, if this is the, okay. So if this is the second or later time we have seen the name, we simply add 1 to the count in the, that's not in either. And I need to drop this down. 1 to the count in the dictionary under that name. Now we're going to do a little trick, okay? Because I really don't feel like trying to interpret that into regular speech right now. So we'll go over to ChatGPT, all right? We'll highlight that what we just wrote down, this, and we'll say to ChatGPT, we will say simplify this. Boom. Okay. And there's what we got. And let's go back over to the thing. I didn't bother reading it. We'll read it right now. So let's bring this back and bring this over. So when we see a new name, we add it to the dictionary. If the name is already in the dictionary, we just increase its count by 1. And that's how you get something that's hard to read to be changed into something that's easy to read. Okay, so I understand what that said. We add it to the dictionary, and if it's already there, we add 1 to it. There we go. So let's watch some more about this. Oh, we still got to type a lot. Hold on. Let's do that. Let's type this stuff down. So we've got something like this. Counts equals new dictionary. All right. We'll say names. Let me also do this real quick. so that we don't have to do enter tab all the time. Let's copy that. All right, so we're going to say names equals, and then we're going to have this list. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's do animals again. Animals. And then we're going to have, let's just put 3 in there. We don't need to go. No, we're going to do a count, so we better do 5. All right, so let's do this, and let's say cats. Cats. All right. And then let's just grab this, drop it off 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Get rid of this. We'll have dogs. We'll have cats. We'll have dogs, and we'll have cats again. Dogs, and we'll have cats again. All right, cool. Just, you learned C and C++ already? I've got this. There's a chat going on right now. Sir, I'm newly joined CS student, and you already learned C and C++, and you're now studying HTML course in FreeCodeCamp. And whenever you're stuck on any code you use to watch my video, and it's very useful to you, thank me. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're not enjoying it. I'm glad you're getting some use out of these. Yeah, excellent. All right. So there we go. Oh, also, I think he came in after I started recording. I'm recording a video right now on this. So yeah, that's what's going on here. So we've got this, and then we're going to say for animal in animals, and then we'll say if animal not in counts, we'll say counts at name. No, pardon me, at animal. Let me fix this up. Counts at animal now equals 1. True. All right, that's great. And then we'll do an else. Counts at animal now equals counts at animal plus 1. All right, and then we're going to print counts. All right, and when we do this one, it's going to give us this. It'll give us what would it do? Let me do this. It would give us something like this. Cats, it would go cats 3, comma, and then we would have dogs, colon 2, like that. And that's how that would work. Yeah, and there's kind of what it would look like if we did it this way. So yeah, there's that. Let's listen to him talk about it with his
code that we're going to build a histogram. This is going to histogram code, okay? And so this is going to have name as our iterator, names. Sorry, I made them singular and plural. That's nice, but so name is going to be csev chen, csev gen. Now normally we'll be reading this from a file, but for now we'll keep it easy. We're going to go through this. And we're going to have counts as our dictionary. So that starts out empty, and we're going to do a simple if then else every time through the loop. If the name we're looking at is not in the dictionary already, is the key, then set it to be 1. If it's not, go get the old value, count subname, and then add 1 to it and stick it back in. So this line right here is new, adding a new thing, and this line right here is adding some things to existing things. And you do this long enough, you start with an empty one, and you do this long enough, at the very end, it will print out the histogram that you're looking for, the histogram you're looking for. And so you say, oh, we've seen csev twice,
Okay, so I guess a histogram isn't just that little bar graph that he said. Maybe it's also what the dictionary, a full dictionary is. I guess we call a full dictionary a histogram. I guess that's what he is getting at. I don't know. Let's see.
Gen once and gen twice. And so that's the idea. And so this can run 1,000,000 times if you want. Now, this notion of...
Okay, give me a second. All right, so we're going to type this down. We're going to get the method for dictionaries. Let's get the notes out. All right. So let's say we're going to put this in... actually, we'll do it like this. Okay, check it out. The get method for dictionaries. All right. And that should be cool. Yeah, this is the Python course. I want to get through this because I was doing the beta Python, and we got this here. I was doing the beta Python, and what was it? What was going on? It was just getting a little too confusing because you know what I'm saying? Anyway. Oh, you were crashing? Oh, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what's... Anyway, so yeah, we're doing Python. The get method for dictionaries. Let's go through this. The pattern of checking to see these. To see... Alright. The pattern of checking to see if a key is already in a dictionary and assuming a default value if the key is not there is so common that we gotta drop this down. This is getting long. Is so common, dang, is so common that where are we? There is a method called get, all right, that does this for us. Okay. Default key if key does not exist. What? Default value. What? I guess that's what this 0 is. Well, whatever. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's type this part down too. So we've got this. We're gonna say if name in counts. Okay, so if name animal, if animal in counts. Hold on. In counts. We're going to do x equals counts at animal. All right, like this. And then we're going to do else. We'll have x equals 0. All right. And then we're going to do down here x count. What? Okay. X now equals counts dot get. All right. And we're doing name comma 0. And 0 is the default value. Okay. Let's write that down while we're at it. We'll drag this back. And we'll say 0. Let's do this. 0 is the default value if key does not exist. And there's no traceback. this. What a pain. Just take this, do a Control X. All right, we got that. And then we'll go to this next line like this. No, like that, like this. And then we'll say trace back. And there's no trace back. All right. Now let's bring this here. And there we go. So let's look at this now that we've written it down. So the pattern of checking, let's just... So the pattern of checking to see if a key is already in a dictionary and assuming... Oh my God. We're going to have to go ChatGPT this again. Oh my goodness. Can you guys please? Oh. It's always something. It's always something. It's never nothing. It's always something. Hey, what's going on, Richard? Put in the earning and the learning. Hey, you see it? You see it? Oh, I you know what? Now that you say that, I don't even think I turned monetization on for this. Well, whatever. Whatever. I'll just keep them on for the videos. What am I doing here? What is this? Why is that up?
Checking to see if...
Anyway, what we're doing right now is we're going to get some... I'm going to put this in ChatGPT because I do not know what this says. It's not what I wanted either. This is what I wanted. Oh, I'm already on that. Oh. Here we go. Good. Hold on, give me a second. Physics said, what's up again? So sorry to interrupt the video. You want to improve your English speaking skills again. Sorry, it's not related to the concept, but please recommend any website for English speaking course like FreeCode. Oh, I have no idea. I already know English. You know what I mean? Hold on. I got you right here. What's a good ESL website? BBC Learning English. Okay. Duolingo, Cambridge. These guys, Breaking News English. So yeah, these ones right here. I'll make it bigger. You can screenshot it. Right there. Let me push pause. There we go. All right. So yeah, those. Let's get back to it. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I gotta type this thing in there. This is such crap, but whatever. It's what you got to do for learning. Where's the chat at? Where'd the chat go? There it is. Oh, Richard. What did you say? Anyway. Oh, you did. You talked to him about it. All right, cool. Let's go do what I was doing. So we're gonna do the notes, and we're gonna knock this out. So we're going to say, simplify this. All right. The pattern of checking to see if a key is already in a dictionary and assuming a default value if the key is not there is so common that there is a method called get that does this for us. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT says about it. All right, the task of checking if a key exists in a dictionary and setting a default value if it doesn't is so common that there's a built-in method called get. Okay, I don't know what that says either. The pattern of checking to see if a key is already there. So checking, the pattern of checking is to see if a key is there and assuming a default value of the key is not there is so common that there is a method called get that does this for us. Okay. So basically, if animal and counts, what the? Okay. If name and counts, all right, X equals, so if this exists in this dictionary, we're going to say X equals counts at name. Otherwise, X equals 0. What? If name and counts, X equals counts name, else X equals 0. X equals counts dot get name 0. What is going on here? Is this the bottleneck? Is this where I say, oh, I'm never gonna understand programming? Nah, this can't be my bottleneck. This can't be it. If name in counts, okay, X equals counts at name. So if it does exist, we're going to say counts at name. We're going to, what? 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 Why? What? What's going on here? What? And then we change X to this? Is this just, what is going on here? Is this just to see if X exists? Do you guys understand what's going on here? Because I'm baffled. Let's listen to him talk about it. How about that?
If a key exists, and doing one thing if it doesn't exist, and doing another thing if it does exist, exists. Now, this notion of checking to see if a key exists, and doing one thing if it doesn't exist, and doing another thing if it does exist, is such a common practice that the dictionary object has this method called get that collapses these 4 lines into 1 line.
What do you want to bet that this collapsed into this, like he just literally just said? That's probably what's going on. Sorry, you 3 guys watching this video. Let's do it.
And so the idea is you're going to do one thing if it's in there, and you're going to retrieve the current thing.
This line,
otherwise, you're going to pick a default value. In this case, we'll pick 1. I mean, pick 0. This is like the default, right? Meaning what is not there. And if you say counts, now counts is a dictionary. .get, that's like string.upper, that's a method. You give it a key and then a default. And if the key exists, you get back what's in the key. If the key doesn't exist, you get the default. Okay? So, and with no traceback, this works. So the best way to think about this is those 4 lines are equal to that 1 line, because X is either going to be whatever was in there before if it exists, or it's going to be 0. Now, the nice thing.
Okay. So if it's there, if the key's there, you're going to get the value, and if not, you'll get 0 or whatever you put in there, right? You get whatever. Okay, so this is just where the default goes. I'm sure that it could be a string or anything like that as well. Okay, I see. Let's go.
The thing about 0 is the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 to it, so that's going to get us to 1. So collapsing that loop that we saw before, we can make it just a 1-line loop, and this will become an idiom. This will become something that you will get used to and you will use over and over and over again, and after a while, right now you're looking at it, boy, that's a lot of syntax and semicolons and whatever. After a while, you just type this and not even think about it. It's an idiom.
Okay. All right, great. So let's type this down. All right. So what did it say? Simplified counting with get. Okay. So simplified counting with get, with the get method. All right. So we can use the get method. Let's do that. We can use the get method and provide a default value of 0 when the key is not yet in the dictionary. And then just add 1. Okay. So let's do this example. So counts equals new dictionary. All right. We'll say animals. Let's go grab our thing. Animals equals cats, dogs, and whatever. Cats and dogs. All right. For animal in animals, we're going to say counts at animal now equals counts.get. We'll say name the iteration variable and 0 as the default plus 1. All right. Okay, that's cool. I like that actually. That's actually really cool. Print, and then we do print counts, and it'll give us the same thing we got right. Yeah. Let's do this. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's an easy way to fill that to fill the histogram up. I like that. Okay, let's keep going.
It's basically included in this idiom is how to both create new entries in dictionaries and update existing entries by adding 1 to them. So
very cool.
Everything
I like
else
that.
in this is the same. Name is going to go through these 5 values, and we're going to say counts of name equals counts.get name, comma 0 plus 1. And so if, for example, this already has a 1 in it, then this is going to be 1 plus 1 becomes 2. If it's not, it's going to be 0 plus 1 equals 2. And so this is the idea of if new, set it to 1, not 0, set it to 1. Because the first time you see something, the count should be 1, not 0. So that's why we make this default.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Oh, I like that a lot. So this not only does it if it's there, but it makes a brand new one. That's it's the 0, because like if it's not there, it's going to be 0, right? That's what you just said. Plus 1. That's okay. Let's keep going.
Now the get can be used for anything. It just so happens that 0 is a common default because it's really common that we're using this to basically make a histogram, right? Little histogram of A, B, C, right? And so we need to make a D, but then the histogram has to start at 1. So that's basically the simplified counting with get. And you know, there's a lot of things that we're going to do inside of Python that do have to do with frequencies.
We got the count right there. All right, let's type this down. Hold on. What was he saying?
Inside of Python that do have to do with frequencies and how many times certain things happened. And this pattern is a really good pattern to absolutely know.
Wait, oh, so that's the front part of the next video? Yeah. All right, so that's the end of that. All right, so that was a good one. What will the following code print? Count, Quincy, Miss Sugarous, Bo, 0. All right, go get Chris, 0. Won't that be an error because it's not there? And there's no way to fix it? Let's see. Nope. 0? Oh, yeah. Either this or this. So it would be 0. Yeah. My bad. Check it. Looks good. And submit it. All right. So what is going on here? All right. So we're on to dictionaries and loops, and we'll see you next time.